Around 500,000 children were adopted between 1949 and 1976 in England and Wales. And 77-year-old Anthony was one of them. He only discovered as a teenager that his mum and dad were not his birth parents. He now wants to find out if he might be one of the British babies born to American GIs in World War II.
Hi.
Anthony, how are you?
All right, Stacey.
Nice to meet you.
And you, love.
How's things?
Brilliant, yeah.
Good. Yeah. Look at this.
Smashing.
What a spot.
Oh, aye.
I feel like we're on my holidays. So tell me why you want to take a DNA test.
Well, I want to know who my dad was.
When Anthony was a teenager, he found some papers which revealed that he was adopted.
One day I was rooting through a couple of cupboards and there was a birth certificate in it. It had my mother's name and where she was from and the son, Anthony. I think I was old enough to realise that I was adopted.
So discovering these papers comes totally out of the blue.
Oh, yeah. As far as I was concerned, my mum and dad were my mum and dad. And I was absolutely gobsmacked. I thought, I'll go and see if I can find me mother. I knew where she was from, and I knew her name.
From the paperwork?
From that paperwork, I never forgot it. And so I went to the town hall, and they gave me an address. Within 4 or 5 hours, I was talking to her. So anyway, I said, look, Mum, why am I adopted? And she said, well, I don't want to go into it too much. I said, my husband was away at the war. They asked few of the girls to go and have a dance with the Americans at this barracks where they were. She said, and one thing led to another, and I ended up pregnant with you. She said he was a GI. I said, well, have you got his name? And she said, no. Does he know I exist? She said, I couldn't tell you that either.
No photos, nothing?
Nothing at all. She wouldn't say anything, but...
That must have just been so surreal.
In the end, I just let it go, and that was it. But it was always in my mind, who's my dad? If I can just find anything, be great. When I found those papers, it just changed my life completely. My mum and dad weren't my real mum and dad. I'd cry quite a bit over it. But you don't do anything because you're only a child.
It's never the child's fault, is it? They're the innocent ones. And as he's got older, there's less chance to know if there is any family out there for him.
After a lifetime of searching for the identity of his father, Anthony hopes Chori and the team will finally be able to give him some answers. Joining him for his DNA results is his wife, Marie.
It's lovely to see you again.
Hiya, Tora. Yeah, nice to see you as well, love.
So when you came to us the first time, it was because you were interested if you could find out any information about your biological father. We're getting some pretty clear DNA matches coming back. We're getting a lot of matches in the US, mainly around the southern state of New Mexico, but a really, really interesting mixture as well. So we are getting Italy, Sardinia, we're getting Spain, we're getting Indigenous American, a little bit of African in there. Really amazing mixture of DNA on that side.
Getting exciting.
Yeah. So we start taking these matches and we start to slowly build family trees going back to the 1800s. And we can then see where these two family groups meet. So all of that work took us to a couple. Now they are Lorenzo and Refugia. They are your biological grandparents. And let me tell you something pretty interesting about them. Lorenzo, he's Italian. Originally, his family's from Sardinia. Refugia's family is from New Mexico, but essentially it's sort of a Spanish side of things. So that is starting to explain your really interesting ancestry that you've got in your DNA. Now we can see from the records that they have 4 children. So we've got Jack, Pedro, Martha, and Abelino. One of those brothers has got to be your biological father. We can see from the records, 2 of them, at least, have been over here during World War II. Some of their descendants have also tested. And that allows us to work out who your biological father is.
I'm made of.
So the DNA is pointing to Pedro. Pedro is your biological father.
God bless us. Right. Okay. Made up. Absolutely made up. Grace. Is he still alive?
I can tell you that all 3 of the brothers died in the same year,
So have you got a date for that?
1981.
1981.
Yeah. Let me give you that.
That's unbelievable. And I'm shaking now. You must have done some searching for this.
It took a while.
Yeah. Finding me dad is great, but to go back to so many people, such a time, you've done me proud, really. I really couldn't thank you enough. You've made me day.
I'm so glad.
You really have. Smashing. Gonna go and tell my wife now.
Absolutely.
Nice.
We found it.
Oh, what's that? Wait.